What's up, you guys? This is Zay Brooks, and this is episode 23 of a show that I do not know the title to yet. Today, what I wanted to talk about is time management. And basically, if you lack time management, you're lost. And it's very easy for people to say, oh, I know how to manage my time. And let's be honest here. No time management or a firm grasp with commitment and accountability and consistency and self-discipline, you're doomed to doom when it comes to figuring out who you want to be, your journey, trying to do something that's unprecedented. Time management is so important. If you lack something like self-discipline or accountability or love to make excuses, that all coincides with time management. So you end up fucking yourself over just from one aspect of it, which is super scary to think about. And I think a lack of time management happens almost subconsciously at times. Some people think time management means to get a planner and set all these things up and make sure, top to bottom your day is figured out. No, that's not the issue. I've never had a planner. I've never had anything that helps me keep up with my day in a sense. I guess I just use my mind. Some people are different than others, but time management is more so what you do when you are in the thing that you may or may not have planned. It's like, how productive are you? You can plan to do A, B, and C, but when you're in that allocation of time, are you really spending it doing something that makes sense or worthwhile effort towards your goal? Managing your time, not planning your time. Those are two completely different concepts, right? For example, I could say that I want to research a new camera or a new phone. I want to buy a new phone. I want to set up research for that, so I allocate time. Just because I do that doesn't mean that that's going to be finished or that's a task that will be completed. I have to be able to manage my time in the allocation that I give it. I could accidentally doze off. Someone could text me or call me, and I'm no longer doing that. A million things can stop us from managing our time correctly to do what it is that we want to do. And it sounds very simple. I know. I get it. I know this. But the main reason of this show, to give you thought-provoking concepts and things to resonate with, is the ability to take things that you think you know and re-recognize them into your conscious mind and basically reinstate your beliefs. That's the power of inner work, is knowing how this world works, who you are, what your purpose is, and then to consistently refine and enrich the characteristics that you define yourself by. And one of them is time management, truly. Like, name one aspect of your life, whether it's diet, weight, work, career, dreams, goals, that doesn't involve time management. All of us are in school, right? Or were once in school. Imagine procrastinating, which all of us did. I did myself, but those were things like, papers on subjects that we don't really care about. Imagine taking that lack of care into something like your goals and your dreams and your aspirations. It's kind of a gateway drug, because you set yourself up for failure. Yeah, do you not care about that paper? Sure. But the habits that you practiced in not managing your time correctly bleeds into other endeavors in your life, whether it's your friends, managing the relationship between your career and your friends, your financial research, your investments, your family, cultivating family relationships. And more than anything is the relationship with yourself. That's the scariest part. I know I keep saying that's the scariest part, but it is true that if you lack time management with yourself and with your journey, spiritually, like, where do you land? Like, you're almost just going into the world blind. Like I said before in other episodes, it's an intrinsically motivated reality where you feel like you can imprint on the reality. I think time management has to do with a lot of that. And then the extrinsic, locus of control. I apologize, that's what it's called. The internal and external locus of control, where with lack of time management, lack of accountability, self-discipline, you feel as though the world just imprints on you and you have to deal with whatever comes your way. Maybe you're just not allocating your time wisely enough. Maybe you lack productivity or lack self-discipline, and that shows up in the form of time management, and then you play victim and blame the reality that you get to co-create with God. You blame that because of your lack of time management. You could have a burning desire, unwavering faith, chief definite aim, but a chief definite aim, in my opinion, looks like time managing correctly. It's priorities, right? Some people, let me be honest with you, and this might hurt some of your guys' feelings. Some of you fall in love and your dreams and aspirations fly right through the window. I feel as though in my life, with in the future, my wife, I think if like the law of attraction, if I choose to make that a priority and I'm chasing my wife, I feel like my wife will run away from me. But the moment I choose myself and figure out to be the best version of myself that I can be in terms of career, diet, weight, like my wife will naturally fall into the palm of my hands, I feel like. So focusing on something like that rather than your goals or things that can make you the best version of yourself, the person that you visualize in your head, the most successful person with all the dreams and goals that they have. It's just, in my opinion, your priorities are just a little messed up. I think you don't need to go out and chase and give all this great penultimate energy to finding your love. And then once you have it, it's not something that you need to let go of your dreams for. This is just my anecdotal experience. Some people will search for love so hard, and then they find something that they would be down for, and then they may even settle, or they may give up their dreams and aspirations to keep that relationship alive. You really got to ask yourself, like, if you're in a relationship, like, who were you before that relationship? Do you still have a relationship with yourself, or is everything that you do, everything involved with this significant other? And if it is, which is, I guess it's not a bad thing, but does that jeopardize your goals and aspirations of the things that you wanted? Is that your dream before you had met that person? What is it that you want to be? Like, what is your deepest truth? Is your deepest truth to find love? In my opinion, that's a pretty common concept. Like, sorry if that's loud, but a lot of people in this day and age, they find that significant other. That's not an unprecedented ideology to spend so much time and energy for, where you fall in love and then you fall out of love or chasing your dreams and your goals. That doesn't make sense to me. So anyways, that was a tangent on time management, but priorities, I guess, is something that is also very valuable, because if you lack priorities, then you lack managing your time correctly, even after you allocate the time for your priorities. So I want to say this really quick. New York City is just beautiful right now. It's late March. I just left Orlando to come here for a couple of days, and now I'm going to Chicago later today, and then I'm going to Greece for a week. And so super thankful to do that, and I want to let you guys know that I made that manifestation a couple years ago, that I wanted to travel the world as much as possible. I felt as though once I reached that level of financial freedom, I had thought, what do I want to do? Well, I want to travel nonstop. And so I created the visualization in my mind that I already am financially free. So because of that, I choose to travel. Does it mean that I had the monetary means to travel when I first made this manifestation? No. But the key to the law of attraction is visualizing the life you want to live and almost vibrating at a level as if you literally have the money, and you're looking at opportunities and trips and you're like, yeah, I could do that. Like, placing the law of attraction in your subconscious allows you to visualize without limitations. So just because I don't have the monetary gain to fly to all these places and travel doesn't mean that my subconscious mind and the co-creator of my reality, God, doesn't work to achieve the things that I want. God wants us to be happy. God wants us to glorify His name by any means necessary. There is no limitations to what we can and can't do. So I'm just reminding myself to take a step back and be in the present moment and just practice gratitude, that traveling for free, for the most part. There's some that I have to travel for leisure and stuff, but anyways, the law of attraction is very real, and manifestation is truly real, but you have to believe without limitations. I don't want to be somebody that you guys are thinking is just blowing smoke, right? Like, I am living testament to the things that I talk about, and that's why, with this show specifically, I want to talk about things going on in my life. I don't want to give you stats and facts and all these things. No, I don't really care for that. I think there are a lot of people in this day and age who their opinion and their take on life is valued, and I think that I will birth a community that values my opinion even without giving all these stats and facts. Yeah, it might be here and there, right? But my credibility and my authenticity and genuineness, I think, will take me places. And as of now in my journey, it's gotten me paid. Getting paid to be me. So again, just filled with gratitude. I take all the moments I can, if I have moments myself, just to truly thank God for everything that I have. And it's just awesome. Life is good. And we have to walk by faith, not by sight. This time last year, I've said this before, but this time last year, I mean, guys, when I tell you, I was in a different situation, not sure what was going to happen. And sure enough, a year later, I'm right next to the Flatiron building right here in downtown New York. It's like, what are we talking about? Anything and everything is possible. So, but I will say, in my own life, my time management is supreme. I have this weird level of focus where you really can't knock me out of it, right? I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch TV, and my grandma would be making me breakfast, and she would have to step in front of the TV in order to be like, Isaiah, what do you want? How many eggs do you want? How this or that? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, grandma, this, and this. So I was blessed with a level of focus that I'm thankful for, but I think that's a skill that you can enrich, and really just comes down to accountability and boundaries. I talked about that in the last episode. If I'm working on something and somebody's talking to me, I'll politely be like, hey man, I'm working on something right now. Can you give me 15, 30 minutes, however long it takes? It's okay to set those boundaries to chase your goals and dreams. You're working on something. Let's say you're trying to be a lawyer. I always use this example, but because my friends are trying to be lawyers, but you're trying to be a lawyer, and on Friday, Saturday night, somebody's talking about, yo, let's go out, yo, let's go grab a drink, let's go do this. However you see fit is the way you should live life. Your time management is the most important thing, because without it, you're truly lost in your journey. So therefore, you need a level of discernment and boundaries to set with people on what it is that you're going for. I think the amount of effort, the law of equivalent exchange, is the amount of effort you put in is the outcome, right? So if you kind of give this half-ass effort to being a lawyer, half-ass effort to being a content creator, a business owner, you're going to get half-ass results. That's not to say that you have to work very hard, 9 to 9, and not sleep. And no, that's not what I'm saying. Most of the work is spiritual and mental. Not all of it is this physical work hard. That's not what I'm saying. There's a lot of spiritual inner work, manifestation, mental work, networking. These are all things that don't take physical labor, that you can manage and learn how to maximize your opportunities. I think people always try to put stuff off, and like I said before a couple minutes ago, procrastination is a demon, because it's so easy to do and it's so easy to lean into and sink into, but you're jeopardizing who you want to become based on putting things off. That's why, in my life, I genuinely, at least daily, try to visualize what my life will look like, when I achieve all the things that I say I want to do. And then it's weird, it's almost like my subconscious is trained. If I'm at the gym and I'm half-assing the weight, or I'm working on some content, or even with this show, I will catch myself and think, and close my eyes and think, man, would the highest version of myself, would the person that achieved all my dreams, how would they feel right now? Well, they'd call you a little baby, and you need to figure it out and stop setting excuses and just go be who you want to be, right? That level of accountability, that positive inner talk where you can hold yourself accountable and not play victim to the reality that we're living in, and instead imprint your reality. Understand that you're the co-creator of God, with God, that you have a chief definite aim, burning desire, and unwavering faith, and therefore the physical equivalent is inevitable. It's that level of accountability that we have to get to, which will help you manage time. And all these episodes, right, they all interconnect. All the characteristics and traits that you need, they all coincide with each other. If you lack one, it's almost like momentum where you end up lacking the other ones. And so time management, it's a lot of things put together. But as you work on time management, naturally other traits will become more prevalent, and you'll get better at them. So it really just comes down to taking that first step, recognizing where you are in terms of your time management, and you could honestly be superb at your time management. That's great. That doesn't mean you should stop working on it. Nobody's perfect. But for most people, their time management is faulty, or honestly, just being real, is not good. And so being able to recognize where you are, taking that moment, going by yourself and taking out your headphones and being able to meditate and really try to understand how well your skill is in terms of time management, and then taking that first step to work towards that. I think the first step is just proclaiming that you have time management. You value time management. That you have time management, that you are a very productive person, I think positive self-talk will get you there. And I think that's the next thing people would probably ask me is, Zay, like, how do I work on my time management? Well, you work on your time management by taking small wins. Committing to yourself is super important. Don't say something that you know you won't do or you may not do. Just don't fucking say it. Only say things out loud, right? Like, our words are literally spells upon our reality. Don't say things out loud that you aren't striving for or aren't going to, I guess, get or be. I don't know how to say that, but don't say, I'm going to go to the gym tonight, and then you skip the gym. Like, that's not a good idea for your subconscious mind, because not setting those commitments, it's like your subconscious mind is like, okay, well, we say we're going to do things and then we're not going to do it. And that's almost becomes an inner core belief that you don't even realize because it exists in your subconscious. So taking those first steps in little things in time management and actually doing those things and being productive, just the tiniest little things, making your bed, cleaning your room, cleaning the bathroom, making sure you're tidy in your appearance. Like, those are little wins that you can take on. And if you're in school right now, making sure that you're on top of it with school, with your job, like, those are things that will help propel you like a big snowball into the big picture things, like who it is that you want to be and your dreams and your goals, and doing something that's unprecedented, building a business, getting that dream body, or that, you have to be able to start with the small steps through perception of self, recognizing where you're at, and then moving on from there. I'll say one of my friends, we play this game, and my friend, they want to be successful at the game, but they don't want to put the work in to be successful at the game. So it's like, you want all the things that you could ask for, right? Like, we could sit here right now and close our eyes and visualize the life to be lived, the job, this, that, whoop-de-whoop. But are you willing to put that work in? I think some people, it's like, people think work, I said this before, but work is not busting your ass all day and night, not getting any sleep. That's not what I'm saying. Putting in the work is the law of attraction and time management, like things that aren't tangible. Like, him putting in the work, to be better at the game isn't something that he has to work hours and hours for. It's just tiny little steps that build momentum to being who it is that you want to be. How could you want to lose weight and be strong in the gym, but when you go to the gym, you're just like half-assing it, or you're scrolling on TikTok, or you're texting somebody, you're talking to them on the phone, and you're not really maximizing your opportunity? Like, you only have one life to live. Everything's here today and gone tomorrow. What are you going to do with the time that you have right now? Because if you don't take full advantage right now, who's to say you won't take advantage when tomorrow comes, or next week comes, or you just procrastinate your entire life? Now you sit back full of regret of things that you wish you would have did, or you cope and you settle for this life that you claim is what you want. But when somebody sits and asks you what your dream is, it sounds completely different than the life you live. Jeez, oh man. That's the thing, bro, is like, life is too short for you not to live the life that you want. Don't cope, don't settle, don't think big. One of my really good friends, when I decided to become an entrepreneur, I moved to Texas. I was broke and I didn't know how to make rent, and I basically was like, man, I could do Uber and I could do DoorDash, like what do I do? And he literally stopped in his tracks. He was making dinner. He looks at me and he's like, why are you saying that shit? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, why are you talking about Uber and DoorDash? Like, I don't know, I need to make money. It's like, well, think bigger. Why do you think so small? You're so small-minded. And I was like, damn, maybe you are right. Like, why am I thinking so small? Is that because I feel like my reality imprints on me and I have to deal with whatever comes my way? Or do I get to choose the reality that I want to live? Do I get to visualize and ask God to be my business partner and figure out doing what it is that I want to do, right? You know, if something terrible happens and I'm on my deathbed, I can tell you right now, I did what I wanted to do. And in my life, I just feel so much more free doing those things, doing what I want to do every second of every day. I'm thankful. Am I financially free? No. Am I? Not yet. Am I exactly who I want to be? Not yet. But I'm just forever grateful for the level of freedom that I have, that I get to do what it is that I want to do. And I think that's something that everybody should strive for. And that could be in a 9-to-5 job that you love. I'm not saying to not get a job. Just saying choose the life that you want to live. And your time management has a lot to do with the life that you choose to live. Has a lot to do with it. I'm trying to think of one last thing I'd want to say about time management. I think just really take that step by yourself to figure out where you stand in your own time management. Take that step. Take that visualization of where you are. It's very important to ask yourself, where am I? So with that being said, I want to do a guided meditation. So find a place on the ground, close your eyes, say crisscross applesauce. I know this is all distracting. I know I'm in New York, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, just close your eyes really quick. It's going to take 2 minutes. All right. What I want you to do is take 3 deep breaths. So in and out. In and out. One more. In and out. And I'm going to give you a moment here to recognize where you stand in your time management. Look at your life right now and ask yourself, do I manage my time wisely? I'm going to give you some time to think about that. Think about where you manage your time well. Areas of your life that you do manage well. And areas of your life that you don't. And it's okay to understand that. You shouldn't feel a level of guilt or feeling bad. I think it's just more so how we can take that first step to changing those things. And that's something you have a conversation with yourself about. I can't necessarily help you. You have to figure out, how can I hold myself accountable to time manage properly? How do you do that? And for me, it's just that inner mind, that inner conscious reminding me of who it is that I want to be and what I need to do in order to achieve that. And managing my time is just a very important endeavor in that journey. Anything and everything is possible. So I choose to manage my time wisely because I say so. If anything, you ask God for more opportunities to practice time management. He's not going to give you the ability to manage your time wisely. You have to do that yourself. That's free will. That's the reality that God has created. Ask God to give you more opportunities to manage your time wisely and figure out who it is that you want to be and what you're pushing for, so that can motivate you to be that person. All right, you can open your eyes now. Whew. Weather is nice. Go ahead. Weather is nice. Sun is out. Appreciate you guys for sticking with me, man. If this resonates with one person, I'm thankful for that, and I'm excited for the community to grow. And yeah, it's just fun. I enjoy doing this. It's crazy that I'm able to ramble for 25, 30 minutes about things in my life. So thankful for that. And if you're watching, I appreciate you. So life is good. Life is truly good, man. Look around. Go outside, take a walk, enjoy nature, talk to God. sit by yourself, take some deep breaths, man. Life is good. You can be whoever it is that you want to be, said. No limitations. You got this, truly. All right. See you guys next time.